Less than a minute gone and they are inches away. Doughty will stumble, then he will hand it on. Looks how close they are and they have gone over. Within a minute, we said Onkaparinga would come out quickly. They haven't, that is the first try of the game. Walter will show and stay. Make half a yard afterwards. Now look at Pingo! And Tilaki will go over! Tilaki will score! Burnside in red time! And again to Adcock. Adcock will find Finney. Finney will put the down. Finney, I think he's got over.
Gibson's made the gap. Here we go. Yeah, good movement. Great move. Just good running line. Paddy. Oh, here we go. Big gap.
Oh,
well done.
Well done.
Try to twist it.
He will turn around. Now he's going to put the toe down. He's going to take those shields. He'll go over in the left-hand corner. Right, really starting to push away now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to AA Banking Reserve down in the suburbs for Clarence Gardens. The weather is absolutely fantastic. My name is Dave Webb. I will be with you all afternoon. Tyrone Tapio has just finished playing, so he'll be with us as soon as he can be. I'm sure we're on a team sheet from Burnside, but I can go through the South's team for you. In the front row, we will have Graham Newton, Matt Romano Manu, on Arno Ziervogel, Brody Porter, and Useli Kamikamitha will be in the second row. Thomas Klopf, Jacob Will, and Simone Taganivalu will be the back row scrum half, Joseph Wiggett. Number 10, Dane Keeper. In the centres, Hare Tamai and Isoa Rona Vusu. On the wings will be Tritson Kotza and Giuseppe Savastano. I always enjoy coming down to Southern Suburbs because they test me with the pronunciation of their names. And on your screen at the moment, you can see the Ken Grayling stand, which was absolutely rocking last week. I am with you on my own at the moment. So just an interesting one as we get ready for today. It is one that when I woke up this morning and I had a look at it, Burnside have gone about their business as we expected Burnside to do. Played 2, 1-2 as we expected. Two very, very close games though. Burnside obviously minor premiers last year. They were the ones who really have to keep going with what they're doing. And Souths, who this year, I'm sure they wouldn't mind me saying, this year's surprise package. You wouldn't have expected it from last year where they were kind of firmly rooted into that 5th position. But this year they've come out, they won in their first round against Woodville and then pushed Onkaparinga very, very close last week, only losing by 4 points, I think, which was very, very good for them. So today could be a little bit of a hurdle for Burnside, depending on how they come out. Just once I get it, I can talk you through the ladder. I think Burnside are on top of it. There we go. Onkaparinga are on top of it. They have 10 points. They're unbeaten as well, but they're on top by points difference. Burnside with a points difference of 17. Onkaparinga with a points difference of 33. So they are on top just on points difference. Southern Suburbs sat in 4th on 7 points. Brighton also on 7 points, but Southern Suburbs holding on to that points difference. 29 they are, and 27 for Brighton. Old Coals in 5th, which is unfamiliar territory for the men from Tregenza Oval. Only the 2 points, 2 bonus points for 4 tries. Minus 43 their difference. Woodville also pointless at the moment, minus 63. Woodville down at Onkaparinga today, so big day out for them. Old Coals taking on Brighton. So Old Coals in danger of starting the season 0-3 unless they can get the biscuits down there. I think they're at home at Tregenza Oval. But as for today, I spoke to the assistant coach for Burnside, and I didn't manage to get to Wayne Vincent today. I don't think he's had enough of speaking to me. This will be the 3rd week on the bounce that we get to see the double blues. But I was speaking to him, and he said they needed to do a little bit of work. After watching last week, they had a little bit of defensive work that they needed to do as Burnside come out. Again, I don't have the Burnside team. The management from Burnside will send that team around, but a couple of them are almost Souths go. I read that one out before. Our referee today, I know his name is Tristan. Terrible with his surname. I will find that for you as soon as I get it. I got my email last week, so I'll be able to find out who all our officials are. I just need to work the technology. But as we said, South's a little bit of a surprise package this year. They've come out and won the first one while he gets himself ready. So we are off and running from Bailey Reserve. Burnside with the kickoff, goes deep. Kami Kamitha will sit underneath it and take on the first couple. He won't take a backward step all day. So South with first hands on the ball. Taganivalu will just take a short one to the left. Wiggett is there and starting to direct traffic. Isaiah Vogel, always ready for a day on the television, is starting to put his hand up for work. He'll beat the first one, gets stopped by the second one though. Wiggett again at the back. Out to Klopp. He'll reset that. Then we'll go to the left. Little bit congested in that midfield.
Nice to see both teams actually just feeling each other out at the moment. So South's controlling the ball nicely. A little bit slow going, but obviously early stages at the stage. Burnside holding up strong with nice structure, nice good defence.
Well, this is what you would expect. These are two top of the league teams at the moment, which, you know, wouldn't have been said about South for the last couple of years. So you must be proud as a president of South that that's a conversation that we're having this year.
Oh, it's good this year actually. Yeah, it's really, really encouraging. Nice to see some players, and it's actually just good to see some good rugby right across the board in the first 3 rounds. You know, so look, scores don't necessarily reflect how teams have gone at the moment. So, but as we go on, I'm sure they're going to see some fantastic rugby.
So Wiggett starting to direct traffic, nice and patient. Didn't want to go until he was ready to go, but penalty to Burnside. Just holding on the floor. I would expect as well with Rahali and the way that Rahali's been kicking this year that they'll probably take the points.
Oh no, they're backing themselves here, Dave.
Oh, they're backing themselves. Yeah. Well, he's English, see, points win premierships. Yeah, I'd always go for goal.
That's only because you can kick, Dave.
Yeah, and that's Hodgson who's nudged that down the line. So, the infamous Burnside driving maul. We're going to have a look at it and see whether they'll go again. I think that's going to stick with them for the whole season or until.
Well, it's probably a good move today because obviously in the reserve grade, you know, might be in this one. It might be a good play for them if they do.
Our referee's just got a little bit of technical issues. That's what you get in the 21st century, isn't it? He's just going to sort his headset out. So he's obviously communicating with his assistant referees. So just a little bit of a hold for that.
He might have to actually go to his daughter to help him with the technology stuff, you know. How do you work this thing? Oh, I don't even know.
That's the way it is. Magic, electronic magic.
So you actually missed out putting the boots on there, Dave? Or
Do I miss putting the boots on?
Yeah, do you miss putting the boots on?
I do miss putting the boots on. I would like to. I mean, even if I could put the boots on and run around with a whistle. But family stuff comes in on a Saturday morning as well, and obviously just making sure that the good people of South Australia and beyond. Like every time we look at this, there's people in New Zealand watching, there's people in England watching. This is truly worldwide. So, yeah, for the people all over the world, I have hung up the boots. So the lineup, spoiled by South, but it is going to come back Burnside's way. They'll just snipe down that right-hand side with Walton, met by a couple. Rook is slow again, which was a thing last week with Burnside. They had a lot of slow ball. Walton will send it on. Walton will sit in that first receiver again, and he'll look to distribute. There was a run around the back to Hodgson, and the ball just went to ground. I think that's Tanaki. He's wearing the number 12. Still no sign of this Burnside team sheet. Let's see whether I can send a message over to them. Yeah. 20 feet, yeah. Smoke signals. So is there another Burnside lineup just out there?
It is. Oh, put your money on it, Dave. What are you going to do? Off the top, down and drive.
Down and drive. I would down and drive at every point, but they lost the first one. The first one was a bit messy, and Souths have managed to get numbers around there again.
Oh, good taken by Vili there.
I'd like to see you gone with Vili and not Kami Kamitha, which is his real name, but a nice little step on around the outside. Then just anything ball over the top. Rahali tries to step back inside, but he's dealt with by Savastano. Burnside still got it though. Burnside still close. Burnside very, very close. South with the backs to the wall, and they are managing to keep them out at the moment. Burnside will go again. Out to Marshall. Marshall with a big show. Marshall with a big go. Is the arms long enough? Yes, they are. And Burnside will get the first points of the day with Marshall just reaching out. Bend but don't break is normally the saying, but unfortunately for those in green and red, they broke.
Yep, this time around. Oh, obviously, the difference in play on this one from the other side, the ball recycling was actually a hell of a lot better this time. Oops, what's your language there, Dave? So obviously that just contributed to the momentum of that play there, which obviously South did really well to scramble, but yeah, as you said, old Blair Marshall there, nice reach over the top of the tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be tough around that short. Defensively, they looked okay. I mean, the one positive you can take from it, they didn't get beaten in the short channels. That's where you don't want to get beaten, but I'm just trying to look who that was. It was Romano Manu and Togonivalu, I think I'm saying it right. Just ran through the middle of him. Tough man to stop.
Yes, very tough man, very strong man. I think he's a Kiwi too, isn't he?
He is a Kiwi.
Yeah,
Not that you're going to hang your hat on that at all, Tyrone.
No, we're not biased here at all. We're multicultural, very accepting of all cultures.
Yeah, so Rahali will set himself up. He will look to tack on two more. Pushes it out to the right and it didn't come back. That's the way the wind is going. For those of you who are watching this at home, the wind is at the backs of the commentary team, so towards the stand. Towards the northwestern corner, really. Is the way it's going. He set it out too far right and it was never going to come back. But that's the start that Burnside will want, because it would have been a nervy Friday night for this lot, having looked at the results from the first two rounds and wondering what Souths they were going to see.
Yeah.
So now they'll be a little bit settled. So Burnside 5, Souths 0 on the Wojtek scoreboard. Nice restart from Hade Tamai, one of the rugby league converts. Advantage for a knock-on. So Souths will get a little bit of go forward. Not going to get away with that. So the first one was a knock-on. It's come with the knock-on and not the hands in the ruck. I would have gone with the hands in the ruck, personally.
So would I, but good call on that one there. Oh, Hade Tumai actually is obviously this is his first year in Union, first season in Union as well. She's actually coming in leaps and bounds, a little bit of a dance, and actually used to play. Was actually in the Gold Coast Rugby League development team back when he was about 16.
He is a very, very good player. When I first saw him play, you had him at 13, and I liked him at 13. So kind of like another distributor out there.
Absolutely,
so
and he can dance on a dime, that boy.
He's very, very good. He spoke about it on Friday night. He certainly has some tricky feet. So the Battle of the Packs, the first time we get to see this South's pack. There's a formidable front row. Graham Newton, the Englishman. Matt Ramanamanu, the Fijian, and Arnie Zeervogel.
Yes.
The South African.
Look at that.
The United Colours of Benetton out there in your front row.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
But that's a formidable front row. So it'll be interesting to see. Burnside have prided themselves over the last year, really, and first two rounds of this season of having a very, very strong scrum. So they kind of had the upper hand against Brighton, and they definitely had the upper hand against Old Coles. Let's see how they get on against the boys from Bailey Reserve. And there's your answer as they just bully themselves off it. Picked up, though, by Togonivalu. Comes out to Wiggett. Wiggett didn't really want it that quickly and then just will snipe. On the 10-metre line, South ball, slow ball. Togonivalu will pick it up, make a couple of yards. Good clean-up. Matt Ramanamanu wants a pick and go, but he's dealt with by Marshall. Slow ball again. Wiggett just bobbled it, but it's okay. Keeper. Another of the rugby league converts just managed to shake himself away. Offloads into Wiggett. Wiggett again will manage to just push it on. Good continuity so far from South. Keeper will send it to Tamai. Tamai will put it on the boot. Turns Rahale round and will push into that corner. Needs it to hold up. And it does.
Well done.
That rugby ball will not normally bounce the way you want it to. But it was almost like Tamai had it on a piece of string and he put it exactly where he wants. Now they can put a little bit of pressure on that Burnside line out in the shadow of their own goal line.
It's actually amazing to see the psychology around the 2A, Dave, making in terms of where you play on the field, you know. So obviously Souths were defending for a bit in that first couple of minutes. Now we get to see it here.
Well, Burnside went quickly because they had a couple of issues with their lineouts and they just went quickly to 2. And they're like going to try and work out. Just see whether Rahale sits back in the pocket and there's a penalty. That's a coach killer when you've got them under that amount of pressure and you know you're probably going to get a line out within their half. to let them off, that's coach killer.
It totally kills it. Sometimes just a strategy of, like, you know, make the tackle, set up, build up the next phase, tackle again. You know, I mean, put the pressure on them. Don't let them off the hook.
It's a good job Vic hasn't got any hair, because you'd lose it by the end of it, wouldn't you? There's not many Premier grade coaches with flowing locks, is there?
No, absolutely. And Vic definitely doesn't have any hair.
That one's a bounce pass out to Rahali. Rahali will put that one on the boot. Just outside the 22, I reckon. The Souths will have a nice little platform to go from. Burnside just looking a little bit nervy. We'll get there eventually, you think? That's the sign of a good team. And they were minor premiers from last year, so you would expect them to find themselves getting better as this game goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's still, what, 10 minutes into the first half, and there's still a bit of, you know, still feeling each other out at the moment. So, absolutely.
It's still close. So we've just had a delivery of our team sheet for Burnside, so I can go through it when we get a chance. South's just coughing that one up at the back. Wiggett does well to tidy it up. Standing halfback, sends it back to Tagonivale. He'll try and work around that left-hand side. Got a little bit isolated.
Nice clean out, though.
Ball's come. It's a good job. The clean out came just in time. Keeper will keep it. And then offload, but unfortunately for him, I think, just got to check that yet. That's Totoka, I think, out there. And Tanaki, who shows what he can do. He's done that before, and then they will put it on the boot. Tony Barker, but it's picked up nicely out the back, and he managed to shake out the first one. Can't get away from Hodgson, though. And the support is there. Nice play and calm head from at the back. Make sure I get his name right. That's not Runavasu, is it? Where is he? Who was that who picked it up? Is that Tristan Coates who did that work back there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
there we go.
Young Tristan there is obviously first year senior, second year to the club. Obviously South African Kiwi.
Nice calm work back there. Penalty, unfortunately, and Burnside will have a line-up. Now, they've not been as clean as they were. And I think that's probably because Souths have managed to get up at 4 defensively both times. I'm just trying to, I don't know, I'm going to guess it's Brody Porter. Your lanky boy stood at 2.
Yeah, young Brody at 2. You got long, young Copper, they call him, at number 4, Mr. Wills.
You've managed to get them up, and he's a long, lanky piece of human.
He is indeed, absolutely. First year seniors as well, making his way up all the way from under 18s.
That time they do come off the top, into the middle to Hodgson. He'll send it backwards to Barker. Barker gets held up in midfield. Then they will go left. Marshall showed, then goes left. Then he will go over, and Burnside will get another try. Aaron Totoka for the front row Union. He will be out there untouched. Over he goes into the left-hand corner. Just ran out of numbers, Tyrone.
Mate, absolutely. I mean, not good class, heaps of class out there. Simple hands, basic rugby.
I think when we see the replay as well, they just set it up in midfield. I think the little dummy from Blair Marshall actually holds up more people than it should.
It did.
Yeah.
It's the simple show on the inside, turned his body and just passed it on to the outside.
Just seemed to freeze the defence, and it was forwards against backs out there, and poor Graham Newton. 2 on 1. It's always tough.
Absolutely.
You hate finding yourself out there on a 2 on 1, and there's nothing you can do.
Absolutely, and you feel like you've let the team down, but it's not the case. It's obviously just the team playing better.
So let's see whether he learns. He'll want to aim this one at the left-hand upright, if not just outside the left-hand upright, and let the wind do its work. Let's see whether he learned his lessons. Does start it off left. Did the wind do enough? It did. It just didn't have the leg.
Mate, I reckon he must have heard you that whole time because he adjusted exactly what you said there.
It's almost like I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, mate, you pull it off well.
But yeah, he was just didn't have the leg. That's a tough kick. He'll want Totoka to send it in a little bit further next one. But Burnside 10, Souths 0 on the Wojtek scoreboard. Tries to Aaron Totoka. Just trying to think who scored their first one. Blair Marshall scored their first one. So a deep kick. Marshall underneath it. Runs into midfield and will start us. Just got dacked a little bit on the middle. Walton takes on 2. Manages to roll forward. Someone's boot goes flying off in the background. There's a knock on. Oh, I think Savastano would have wanted a little bit of an advantage.
Absolutely.
I think he would have fancied himself to score from there.
Yeah, absolutely, young Giuseppe there.
He'll be walking back saying the only reason I haven't scored is because they blew it up for the scrum.
That's right.
If he hadn't have blown it up, he would have been under the post.
Oh, mate, we would have heard the story. He would have told us the whole story about the journey all the way to the post.
He'll still tell that story. Do you know what? That referee stole a try off me.
Right, so obviously some communication between the touch judges there as to what actually happened.
Yeah.
Knock on or what?
Well, it was interesting because it's a real interesting one because the knock-on was then picked up by a Burnside player who's then in an offside position. So there's, but you know,
Well, technically, if that's the case, then there should be a penalty.
And you'd rather have a penalty considering the last scrum.
Absolutely, yeah. Although again, I mean, hopefully, it'll be really good to see the type of character. Obviously, can Burnside continue on with that consistent and being smart about the game?
Yeah, and that's what we like. Rugby IQ.
Oh.
Haven't talked about rugby IQ this year, which is one of my favourite sayings. Rugby IQ.
What is it?
Rugby intelligence. No, well, it is profound.
Oh.
Going backwards again. Wiggett has to get in there. Free kick for an early drive, though. At that point as well, you would want Tommy Klopp to start reaching in and taking that one out.
Yeah, you would.
I think there's got to be a little bit of communication between Wiggett and Klopp. Sorry.
Good clean out.
Romano Manu just picking it up from the back of that. Then he will make his way into the 22. He shook off a couple. He's still going. Romano Manu, covered in spiders, goes under the posts. 5 points to South.
Well done, Medi Romano Manu. I love that one. Covered in spiders. Beautiful. That's
No
a good
one wants to touch him.
No, absolutely. Good play there.
Well, look, this is something that we've seen more than once. He's picked that up at the back as a halfback, and it's just opened up for him.
Yep.
Burnside twice this year. Nigel Lemsam in the first game, Santanaki in the second game, now Romano Manu in the third game. We should call it the live stream try. But that being said, he still had work to do. He's shaken off 3 or 4 of them.
Absolutely. He even threw a little dummy in there, and obviously the guy who actually had hands on him actually fell for that dummy.
Let him go.
Yeah, let him go. Oh, he's going to pass it. Let him go.
Well, that one will be talked about until the early hours of the morning.
Yeah,
that will start at the opposition 22 by the time we get there.
Absolutely. Hopefully the women who are having a lovely ladies' day over in the tents there are not going to. They're going to shut them down actually and make sure they don't bring it up.
Well, yeah, we should mention that. We'll see Tamai, who will have the chance to add this on and take it to a 3-point ball game, which he does. Very good kicker as well. I actually saw a bit of Hari Tamai last year in the rugby league. He's kicked rugby league as well. I think one of the things he's got to work out is that people can charge.
Yes, absolutely.
Because obviously they don't in the code that shall not be named.
Table tennis? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, he does the lot. He's certainly a great acquisition for the green and red.
No, he is absolutely.
So, 3 points the difference on the Wojtek scoreboard. South 7, Burnside 10. As Hodgson will restart us. Sends it nice and deep. Bounces and Savastano will take on the first one. Ball comes back the right way. Taganivalu will try and add to his yardage stats. Again, the support is there. Nice pod work. Keeper sat in the pocket but decides to go out one more, I think, to Tamai, who will manage to turn them around. Turns Rahali around. Chase is good. Ranavasu is after him. Inside to Keeper. Keeper just didn't slow down. He's looking for that rugby league hit, I think, at that point, but Burnside with a good counter-attack. Burnside to Walton. Walton met in the backfield. Burnside again, just working down that right-hand side, not getting much room. The defence is standing up at the moment. Walton, little ball back inside, almost got it back, didn't get it back. Deliberate knockdown, penalty to Burnside. Cards stay in the pocket though, this isn't sevens. Automatic card in sevens for a deliberate knock-on.
Is it really?
Yep.
Well, sometimes you've got to look, is it a going in front of the tackle, you know, when it gets his hands on it going around it, or is it actually a deliberate knock-on?
most of even if they're going for the tackle and they knock it on, it's still a knock on. But in that one where it's just trying to cut down breaking up good play.
Yeah.
If you're stuck there, and you've coached, you must hate it when you do the 2-on-1 drill and the defender doesn't commit to a player.
Absolutely.
Just stands in the middle and tries to knock it down.
That's true. The game is contact sport, on body.
Red card, 10-week ban, I reckon.
Ho, 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 ho.
Here we go again as Burnside. We haven't got much time to breathe. Walton again in that first receiver position. Shows then goes. Last-ditch tackle by Kami Kamitha. Now Burnside are rolling on. Oh, there's a question as to whether he released it, and the tackle was nice counter ruck though from South. That is good. Tonegani will pick it up. He'll get rid of one, then two. Third finally gets him. South now deep in their own territory. Wiggett has to go digging for it, but does it well. Holds. Box kick from Wiggett. Straight down the throat of Rahale, but had the advantage. I'm going to give Wiggett the benefit of the doubt. He knew that. Knew the advantage was coming.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I hope so there. So just getting out of trouble there, a little bit there, Dave. It was looking dangerous here for a moment.
It was, and they put their backs up. They put the big boy pants on and managed to man up and work it out. So now they can relieve some pressure. Now, I have to say as well, as Tamai will knock this down the line, the Souths of old would have already tapped and gone.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
And we're seeing a lot more discipline from Souths. Even last year, they were a little bit, gung-ho.
Yep.
Which is nice, and you don't want to take it away. I think one of the biggest, that one does, well, the flag went up, then went down. It was just waving at us.
How does that work there, Dave?
He put it back down, so the up and under. Contest underneath it, goes Burnside's way, but knocked on. Arno Ziervogel underneath it. I'm sure he'll have a few words. There's a lot of conversation between the referee and the players at the moment. I can see Tristan Clements will probably knock that on the head at some point. Referees don't mind a good chat though.
No, they don't.
As long as it's,
Constructive.
courteous.
Yes, absolutely, sir.
Yeah.
But it's also a good sign of smarts too, of rugby IQ. When you have your captains actually just continually talking, not yelling, not screaming, just having a nice word and a little bit of give and take.
Martin Johnson was the best of that when he was the England captain. Nobody who played against England could ever get any momentum. So any time a whistle went, Martin Johnson went and had a cup of tea and a chat with the referee. But anyway, back to my initial point. I think one of the biggest things that Vic has to work on is getting that structure while at the same time allowing that free-flowing rugby that South is known for.
Absolutely.
But I was really, really impressed that, they are taking their time and they're getting there. A knock on at the back from Wiggett. And again, a little conversation with the referee. A lot of voices out there.
It is. And it's probably one of those things that you're referring to. I mean, Souths of old, obviously the depth wasn't there, whatever have you, but, they're starting to work themselves into structured rugby. And so, therefore, they've got to do the hard work first, disciplined, and then hopefully from there, as the season goes, after round 3, their flair will start coming out. Didn't have a lot to work with.
Solid in that scrum in midfield, so they will look out to that blind side. Penalty, offside.
Now, do you call some of this? Do you put some credit to the captain there from the South, actually just talking to the coach, to the ref?
Of course, I'm on the side of all players. I'm also on the side of the referee. Excellent job by Tristan Clements.
Great job, great control at the moment.
It'd be different if it gone the other way.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But Tamai will nudge it down. And that one is definitely flag up from the assistant referee over on that far side.
That's it.
They changed it a couple of years ago with when the ball went out and how the ball went out, and it's still one of those questions in rugby union that's tough. Just toss a coin.
It is so confusing sometimes.
Just in the background there, you can see the ladies' day tent. Oh, they tried to be a little bit cute with Tagonivalo at the front, and I think he went without it. It's a scrum down Burnside. You just see the ladies' day tent at the back there. Yeah,
absolutely. It's obviously I believe the ladies of South just wanted to make sure they get in there before they all get treated properly tomorrow with a lovely breakfast in bed and scones and presents from the kids.
Of course, it's Mother's Day tomorrow.
It is. Happy Mother's Day to all you lovely mothers out there tomorrow.
Not for my mum. She only
Oh.
gets one a year.
I think it's one a year. Oh my goodness.
The UK one's different. The UK one's in March.
As a March.
No, I'll certainly ring her.
But everyone gets one. Every
Everyone
year.
gets one a year, yeah.
Oh, at South we give you 2.
I was saying before we started, I do enjoy coming to South because they really test me with the pronunciation of the names.
Absolutely. I wasn't going to correct you on air, but I'll help you later on.
Well, it's only yours I have an issue with.
Or Hare Tumai?
I'm good with him. Walton with the show and go into midfield, held up by keeper. Now we're off and running again. Little chip through the back. Savastano with a good pick-up. He'll look to midfield. Now he'll look to straighten, which he does. Manages to get through the first one, but we're going back for, one would assume, a South penalty. Nope, Burnside penalty. So is that entry? I think it's a side entry to a ruck. Savastano again, stolen.
Mate.
Another try stolen by the referee.
Absolutely. he'll be biting at the bit, ready to go for it again.
I just noticed that there's someone on your bench who I absolutely adore as a player, but I don't want him to come on because I've got no chance with his surname. We'll just call him TJ.
Oh, the old TJ. It's easier to spell too, bro.
I'm sure it is. So Burnside will have a line out on the 10. Walton was just a little bit slow to get up. And again, the way he's walking, that looks like it might be a blood issue. He's going to end up with the AFL tape job after the season, I think. Anyway, missed ball to Rahale. Just put it behind Matthew Benja, who's playing the centres today. Ashenford will send it into midfield. Burnside will want to get more continuity than they've had, and just as I say that, they cough it up. Again, it's short advantage.
Mate, absolutely, they're really small. It's a very interesting tactic, though. Obviously, Burnside are playing really well. They're playing nice and tight at the moment, trying to suck in as many Souths forwards as they can into the ruck, and then obviously spinners it wide. I wonder if Souths are going to be smart enough to be able to see that and be able to change that in the second half.
Right, so we are approaching the half hour. So I'm going to start doing my work. So we approach the half hour. We'll see what we can do with scores. Well, round 3, Old Collegians 7, Brighton 0 at Tregenza.
Okay, nice.
This is going to be a year where everything just nothing's for sure.
No, absolutely.
Because going into that one, you would have said Brighton would be, easy win. But Old Coles winning that one 7-0. Brighton will again try and come out. Oh, just messy again down that right-hand side, but they get away with it. Tanaki tried, but another penalty for offside. Early on, Onkaparinga 40, Woodville 0. So Onkaparinga really pushing out again. And we'll just have a look at Division 1. See what scores we can find from there. All tied up at Linddock. 0-0 between Port and the Barossa.
Nice, it'd be a good game to watch that one there out of Barossa.
It's a beautiful place to go and watch rugby.
Oh, and out of Barossa Rugby Club, they really do look after you too. They put on some lovely food, great drink.
So line out to Burnside on halfway. Just as that one comes in, Elizabeth are leading Adelaide University 5-0. And Souths nick another one. In the battle of the set piece, there was a knock on there. And in the battle of the set piece, Souths have got it in the line out. Burnside have got it in the scrum.
That's right.
So they'll be disappointed that they did all of that good work. They did all of that good work and then they knock it on. Again, Vic will be pleased he's got no hair.
I'm surprised Vic hasn't actually moved from the coach's box to the behind the post, actually.
Well, he does that. I've seen him do that, and I like that. I mean, he's another one who doesn't, he doesn't wear his heart on the sleeve during the game.
No.
Which is not a bad thing for a coach.
Great scum by Burnside.
Ashenford back to Hodgson. Hodgson will just nudge it, try and nudge it over the back. Doesn't get over the top of Kurtzer. Kurtzer with a step, and then he'll just go big, strong, and fast. That'll be the South African in him.
Yep.
Taganivalu, who gets there eventually to help out. Wiggett again has to go deep digging. Keeper to Tamai. Tamai will send it out to Ranavosu. Sorry, that's Ranavosu.
Well, they both are. They're
Oh, they
brothers.
both are. Ranavasu to Ranavasu. He'll just nudge it back. Needs it to hold up. Takes a right turn southbound and just then goes dead.
Close.
Now, they can come all the way back to here for the scrum. Alistair Walton?
Yep.
It's not Alistair Walton. Chris Walton knows exactly what's going on. He knows where it was kicked.
Yeah. Very, very, very smart call. Very smart call. Obviously, they know that their scrum was a lot stronger here, so they've got a bit of chance of being able to attack.
That's rugby IQ, because he's like, nah, it was here.
Yeah.
I haven't moved, honestly. This is exactly where it was.
And did the ref fall for it? He did.
Well, he's not far away. He's not far away from where the kick was, and that's just unlucky. Because it very nearly took a right turn and then took it out, and that would have been interesting.
Game on. Again, still a lot of chatter there, eh? Still with the ref. He's doing a good job, though. You know, at least he's engaging the boys, keeping nice control of the game.
I don't think he minds a good chat. I really don't think he minds a good chat. So we're half an hour in. South 10, Burnside, South 7, Burnside 10 on the Wojtek scoreboard. It has been a battle of the set piece in this one.
It has, very much so.
South with the upper hand in the line-out, Burnside with the upper hand in the scrum. And then it's just a tug of war in the middle. Hodgson finds Tanaki. Tanaki, short ball to Benja. Benja will get through the first one, then he'll run away from Savastano. Covering tackle coming. Covering tackle got by Kurtzer. Waiting on a signal from the referee. Got up and turnover. What's the signal? Penalty for sealing off. Whoa, tough one.
That's hard. That's hard to be able to call when you're actually defending and then you actually get called for it.
The covering tackle from Kurtzer, though, gets there. Gets to his feet. Oh, just.
Oh, he's on the.
Oh, it's a tough one.
That is actually there. I saw he actually had controlled the ball on his feet there, and then obviously fell over. Then ball was out straight away.
I tell you what, though, excellent covering defence from Kurtzer. We'll have another look at it. That being good, we pump up the tyres at Kurtzer, but the defence in the midfield just wasn't there.
No.
Kurtzer comes across. There is a release. Oh, I'd be tempted.
Yeah.
I would have gone the other way, but Tristan Clements is in the middle. He's the man with the whistle.
That's right.
On a Burnside scrum this far out. Pushover scrum?
Mate, oh, absolutely. I'd be walking it easily.
Be an interesting one. It's one that look. Your pack looks. The back five does not look as big as it could be.
No.
It looks like you're missing a little bit of weight. Burnside now will start to move it. Will they keep going? It's at the back with Marshall. Marshall keeps moving it forward. It's gone down, so they'll play from there, but the arm is out. Arm is out for advantage. Tanaki steps in. Keeper gets him. Can he hold him up? Keeper does well. Got to roll away now.
Still playing advantage, it looks like. Yep.
Still advantage. Out to Walton, who's got the AFL tape job again. Knocked on by Marshall. But there is another penalty there for offside. Rahaley will take his time. So it looks like it's just a repeat of the injury that he got last week, because he's got the same tape job on. So, again, not willing to take it, but I'd push for another scrum.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't know how many Tristan Clements is going to allow them to collapse that close to the line before he runs over and gives Rahaley the free ones.
Yep.
It's a question I should ask, really. If there is a penalty try, does Rahaley get credited with the conversion?
No, there's actually
He should do.
There's no conversion.
I know there's no conversion, but does he get credited with it?
Nah, don't give it to him.
He should be.
I reckon we should give it to you, though, Dave.
Yeah, I could win the point scoring. Be
Yeah,
up there.
especially when you're calling it like this,
Yeah,
you know?
top 10. That one went to Webb. So about 5 minutes to go. What does Vic do to try and fix that scrum? I mean, as far as when it's a south ball, that ball's got to come out a lot quicker. Klopp has to pick that up at the back if they're going backwards.
Well, you know, I'd probably be looking at trying to play the referee a little bit. You know, just talking to his ear and just say, "Hey, ref, can you watch for the early push? You know, slow the feed down a little bit, and then."
Hey,
try
ref,
and get
they're
some
better
advantage.
than us. Can you fix it?
Well, you know, there's one little thing you can do, because obviously Vic's not on the field at the moment.
Decent height, and again they're going to go. Now a pick up from Marshall out to that right hand side, shakes off the first one. Good tackle eventually from Klopp. Then again they will go to the right, out to Louis Fagan. Again it comes back. Marshall. Close again. They are knocking on that south door again. Slow movement from the south player, allowed to get away with it. Walton pulls it back to Hodgson, to Tanaki. There's numbers to spare. Tanaki doesn't need them. There's a question, but I think he has give it. I don't think there was any question. I think you're clutching at straws, running over and asking about a knock-on for that one.
Yeah, I think so.
Tanaki in acres of space and had men over.
Absolutely. Great play by Burnside, though. Reading the space. Nice ball from the hooker there.
Yeah, if we see the wide shot again. Ooh, no, he's got the downward pressure.
We can have TMO on that, please.
No, I give it. To be honest, I'll give it.
Would.
Well, because he's only got to get downward pressure, and it only has to be for a second. That's fine.
No, that's fine. Yep, spot on.
Absolutely fine. Tristan Clements all over it, like sugar on a donut.
Well, spiders on a web.
There's only generally one spider on a web.
But did you actually get that one? See,
Yeah.
Dave Webb, spider on the web.
Very, very good.
Wait,
There's a future in this for you, Taryn.
And just for all you people that can't understand us, yeah, it's a web.
We should have
It's a web.
subtitles. Anyway, Rahali, he's looking for his first one of the day, which is unlike him.
Now, Dave, you've obviously got a good position, good eye now. What would you adjust on this kick?
Just left-hand post.
Left-hand post?
Left-hand post. Let it go. The cowbells, you can hear them in the background. Goes middle, makes us all look stupid and just puts it straight over the dot.
Absolutely. Where was the wind at this
There
situation?
wasn't one. I could feel it.
Yeah.
Just powered through it. Kami Kamitha with another long conversation with the referee while we were getting ready for that, as we see Tanaki again. Too high from Ronavusu, one of them. It's not Isoa, that one,
No,
is it?
it's
Let's
Save. Save.
Savanatha, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'll let you
Save.
say the long one. Save.
Just
beautiful.
Save.
Yeah. I can give you all the nicknames of all the Pacific Island boys, and you can do all the English ones.
Oh, they all looked in front. Doesn't matter anyway because it's not gone 10 and gone out on the full. All-round bad kickoff from Tamai.
Yeah, that one there. You don't want to be scrumming at the moment against Burnside.
No, they... Yep, and you talked about it. How does Vic fix the scrum at half-time? I mean, you've coached as well, and you just... If your scrum's going backwards, your scrum's going backwards. There's not a lot you can do to coach it out at half-time.
Absolutely, and it's so hard as a coach. Sometimes you think, oh, boys, just do it like this, and you want to get out on the field, but obviously Vic's a little bit old for that.
Hey, while we get ready for this scrum, because obviously the red line that runs down the middle, I have to give a massive shout-out to Steve Finneman for how he makes this ground look every week.
He's a legend, isn't he? Your old Steve Finneman there?
And he is the man. Do you know what? If we needed something, you just go, where's Steve? Go and find Steve. Steve will sort us out.
Oh, mate, and he was actually here with South right at the very, very beginning, or maybe a couple of games in. Doesn't have any family here and is still here at the club today.
Wonderful man. Give that man an award.
Absolutely.
So Hodgson will put it on the boot, push it back in. Save. Let's just call him Save so we get a difference between him and his brother.
Absolutely.
Save at fullback, Isoa in the centres.
Spot on. Great little play by Burnside there, eh? Just getting that charge down there, putting South under more pressure. They don't want to be down at this half against obviously a dominating scrum pack, and obviously momentum is all Burnside.
Hodgson just starting to control the game a little bit better as well. It's a little bit less worrisome. Now, I have to say as well, 17-7 probably flatters Burnside a little bit, you would say.
Yeah. Oh, well, look, I mean, look.
Just a couple of defensive lapses from the boys in red and green. Keeper will send it to Tamai. Tamai will send it further out to Save. Save will step inside, then hand off the other one. Unfortunately, he loses his footing, but he has got support there.
Now, there's no release of the tackler there, and obviously the ref didn't quite see it.
Interesting from Tamai. He wasn't really quite sure what to do with the maul or the ruck. Now they've got a bit of space. Walton comes across, will make the covering tackle. There you go. That's that fullback coming back. He's tapped into that fullback a couple of times this year. Put it on the left hoof a couple of times. Now with the covering tackle. It's a man that always gets his name called week in, week out. Just testament to the amount of work he puts in.
He does.
So we got to look at Dane Cooper, who's still learning the intricacies of rugby union. Savastano's decided he wants to have a kick. You know what? What's the matter with Tamai? Just lost his confidence after the kickoff.
Well, I think actually just he was actually a left footer.
Oh, well, there you go.
So tactically,
He just kicks through it, and yep, flag goes up. I thought it landed on the line. There's no point arguing with the referee. It's the assistant referee who's put his flag up.
that's right. And it doesn't matter how far that tapers up your nose. The referee has the final call.
Well, it looked like it bounced on the line to me.
Yeah.
So, you know, our AR is looking right down the line, so he's going to get it.
That's right.
And those red lines stand out a mile here.
Well, they do, don't they? Actually, it is a good contrast.
I like it. Unique characteristic of Bailey Reserve.
There we go.
to the back to Klopp. Oh, he's just let go by his supporters. Left in all sorts of problems. Jacob Devlin was there or thereabouts. Keeper fires it out to Isoa. Isoa to Save. Save shows, goes, then we'll send it out. Lovely work out to keeper, not keeper, sorry, Tamai. Tamai will make some extra yards. Ball's gone forward though. So it will be a Burnside scrum. Just shooting themselves in the foot a little bit with the last pass.
Just that last pass. It's actually been one of their things for the last couple of games. Just that last pass. 1%ers.
Yeah, Tamai, again, it's probably just a learning process for him as a rugby league player. He knows to know that he can go to ground and reset. It's not try and look for that overload. So we are in red time. I don't think there was any great amount of stoppages, and just as I say that, there goes the whistle for half time. So on the Wojtek scoreboard, is that a... Yeah, it is half time. I didn't really know what was going on. Anyway, South 7, Burnside 17 on the Wojtek scoreboard. We will take a very short break. Oh, the kids are coming out to have a run around as well. That's a beautiful thing about that. They'll run around and just enjoy themselves at half time. We will step out shortly, and then we will be back with you for the halftime show. Should be back now.
Hey,
All sorts of technical problems. It's okay. I've got all of it. It's all me. So half-time here at Bailey Reserve. South 7, Burnside 17, but feels a lot closer.
It does. It is a lot closer. I mean, obviously the defense from both sides has been really good. It's just a set piece, you know, and obviously building from that set piece and getting that momentum going forward. And that's kind of what's stopping them. You know, you got Souths that are actually disrupting and winning the lineouts against Burnside, which is obviously disrupting any momentum that they have. And then on the flip side, you got Burnside actually doing it against the Souths against the scrums.
Yeah.
So until someone actually gets some momentum or gets some control of the aspect of set piece, I think it's going to be a little bit of a ratty game through.
Yeah. Do you know what? I came up with a solution as well, because I was talking to you about how do you fix your South scrum. Don't knock it on. It's probably the best bet. If you cut out those handling errors and you reduce the amount of scrums that you have to defend, then that's probably the only way that they're going to be able to sort that out. Just might talk about the weather, because we did get something on Facebook that said, is it windy there? And yes, it is, but it's gusty. So it comes and goes. So it's not here all the time. And you talk about conditions and what what Burnside will have to deal with it. That setting sun, which sets just behind the clubhouse, and you cannot look into it for that entire second half. So conditions-wise, it's going to be tough for Burnside in the second half.
Yeah, it will be. Although, you know, you look at Chris Hodges here, who's got a lovely little kick there. He's now got the wind behind his back. So it'll be really interesting to see if actually Burnside change his strategy from actually, you know, pick and drive short plays around the rucks to now actually looking at position, field position there, chip it into the corners, and then trying to lock down South in terms of set pieces from there. It'll be really interesting.
But the difficulty, and we talk about the scrum, and we talk about the difficulty that South is having in the scrum, and we'll have to come back to you. We'll talk to you more about it in the commentary. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the second half. So we had to run back.
Oh, Dave, I felt like I just played 2 games just then.
South and Burnside both wanted to go before anybody was ready. But we are underway. So, Tamai, better kick off from him.
Great kick.
Good challenge in the air from Wiggett. There's a flag out on this near side. Isn't it?
Yeah, there is. Biting my tongue on that one there, Dave.
Well, yeah.
You can't.
Is he? I mean, if he's talking about the challenge in the air, is he saying that the Burnside player went underneath him?
Ooh.
I think that's a bit.
It's a bit rough there, actually.
Yeah, I mean, look, we do have to protect the players in the air. We do have to protect them in the air, and I think that's what it is. But, you know, I'm sure Joel Wiggett will. Was it Joel Wiggett who went through?
No.
Was it your winger?
Yeah, no, I think it was young Joe. Young Joe or Tristan, actually.
It was Joel or Tristan. And that's an interesting one. Because he jumped.
He did.
And the Burnside guy was just waiting underneath it.
Like a good old gazelle there, eh?
Yeah, well,
Jumping
okay. That is an interesting one. But it is a penalty. But, yeah. So we'll start the second half with a line out to Souths. Just trying to see. You see how long those shadows are on your screen? That just gives you an idea of how low this sun is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Dave, I've had to stand up, and obviously because it's been going.
Yeah, no, that's, yeah, because like we need to stand up so the sun's not in our eyes. So, yeah, Matt Romano-Manu will come back and he'll take the line out. Have you reduced that line out? They have reduced that line out, so that's a 4-man line out. Steve Stanancevic. Oh, no, do you know what? I had it before the game, and there he is. Just to punish me, we'll take the line out. Wiggett at the back, into midfield to keeper. To Kami Kamitha in midfield, and now they will build again. Out to keeper again, out to Tamai. Tamai will ship it on to Isoa. Isoa held by 2. Wiggett again. We'll find Newton. Newton has a look down the right-hand side and is met very, very strongly. He's going to keep an eye on him. He was up and about. He bounced up after that one.
Ball's just slowing down a little bit.
It is slow, but I don't think that's a bad thing for Vic. think they'll quite like to start slow. Keeper to Tamai. Tamai will put it on the boot. Unfortunately, it doesn't beat anyone, but that goes straight on the boot. And another whistle for a penalty for offside. So happier with the start to the second half?
Yeah, absolutely. The ball was moving a lot better out of the ruck there. It was a lot cleaner, a lot more momentum swinging all the way through. So that was really good to see from South in that regards there. But again, full credit to Burnside. Great defence. Obviously held their shape nicely and made those tackles.
Yeah, but another penalty for offside. We've seen a lot of offside penalties today. I know that it's one... You've not done much refereeing, but you've certainly done a fair amount of playing, and that's the thing that gets shouted out more than anything else. If I had $1 for every time someone yelled offside,
absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I know the referee's got to take control, but and obviously they generally do at the beginning of the game there. But look, yes, I understand a rule's a rule. A guideline's a guideline or a law. Yeah, not a rule. Yeah, it's a hard one, but hey, at the end of the day, you've also got to be able to suss out the ref and play with the ref as well.
Are they going points? They are going with points.
Oh, look at this.
A little bit of confusion. I haven't seen him. Must have signalled.
Yep, no, saw the signal, tease out.
So Tamaya has to now deal with these. And it does feel, from where we are, there's no flags anywhere for us to check, but it does feel like the wind's swung a little bit.
Well, I reckon it's straight in his face, to be honest with you.
It's less across him now.
Yeah.
So this is one of those where you just try and set it outside the right-hand post.
And then he does exactly what happens before, goes straight
down the middle, yeah. Fortunately, there's no cameras on that side, so you can't make a liar of me. Whatever happens, that's what we all say will happen.
Absolutely. We called it first.
So to put another 3 points on, high kick, will it hold its line? No. 22, the grandstand kind of told us that it was. Early kick,
and
went straight out, but I think he's given a scrum because might have been a fair few people in front of him.
Yeah.
Is that what he's done?
He has indeed. Scrum at there, South's ball. Now let's see. It'll be really interesting to see what Vic has been able to say at half time and see if South can actually adjust to the strong, dominant Burnside scrum.
So there's scrum that's just to the left of the posts, so it's not bang in midfield. It's the kind of place that even I would want to overload the left-hand side and leave that right-hand side completely open.
Absolutely.
Because it would be really hard for Burnside to cover. Would you even want to cover everybody if you brought everybody over here and just left your fullback and winger out there?
There you go. Well, depends on how quick the old Burnside flankers are off that side.
That's true. Anyway, Kamitha at the back. Taken over from Klopp. Where's Klopp gone? He's just gone onto open side. Yep. Lost their feet, but he's got to be quick for South. When you're going backwards in the scrum, everything has to be quick.
I agree.
Don't let Burnside get the feet under them. So Steven Stanojevic, I've got it now. It came back to me.
Oh, yeah, we just call him Big Stevie.
Big Stevie. Stanojevic has come on.
You make it sound good.
He's come into the second row. Been a bit ill through the week, so he's only on half a game. Oh, it's come out quick. And it's come Burnside's way. There's a whistle, though. Knock on at the back from Wiggett, which is probably not a bad result for him, really, because Burnside were off and running.
No, absolutely. And look at you also caught it, I think, a lot quicker. The ball came out. Obviously, it's a little bit too quick.
Well, the other thing is, as well as you've now got Stanojevic in that second row, he is a bigger body.
He is indeed.
Played front row for a fair amount of his career. We get to see the other side of the scrum this time. Arno Azir-Vogel, another South African.
Yep, absolutely. So again, we've changed the demographic. We've got South African, Fijian, and Pommy.
Yep.
English.
No, Pom's fine.
Pom's fine. Okay.
That was my nickname for a couple of years.
Well, Pom or Pommy?
Yeah, Pom.
Pom.
But another one goes down. We don't want to get into those days, do we? We just go scrum after scrum after scrum.
No. Obviously, this time I actually went down the front row. Previously, it was the back row there. So, but hey, good signs. Obviously, there's some competition there now.
The field looks really, really good, and Clarence Gardens and Bailey Reserve had a reputation in the past for getting heavy underfoot once it rained, but seems to have held on
Yeah,
a lot better over the last couple of years. So, South's getting a little bit of shove on the Burnside scrum, but they do manage to get out of it. That's a high one from keeper. Oh, he's had one before.
I think it was the
Yeah,
first
he's
one
going to talk to Cami Kamitha as well.
Yeah.
Just a lazy arm. But that's that rugby league in him. This what we talked about. He got one in week 1 for a lazy arm. I think we get to see it again. Yeah, just lazy arm, the step back, and he's just hung his arm out there.
Yep.
No card, though. Dodges a bullet somewhat, but he'll have to keep him down because that's a nasty one. Can be a nasty one, but Hodgson, I think, did him a favour by not making any noise. Just getting up and going.
Yeah, no, and Hodge is a good player. I've coached Hodge for a couple of years in his juniors and under 18s and that kind of stuff, and he's always been a very fair player. So full credit to his family and to Burnside.
See whether we can get some half-time scores from around the ground while we're at it. We will start at Adelaide Uni and Elizabeth. Half-time, Elizabeth 40, Adelaide University 0. This is from the Rugby AU app. If you haven't got it, go get it. Half-time down at Onkers. Onkaparinga 47, Woodville 7. Let's just have a look at the Brighton one. We were losing 7-0 last time we checked in. It is now Old Collegians 12, Brighton 5.
Old Collegians 12, Brighton 5.
Yep, as there is a penalty for not releasing there. And just the last one of the senior men's fixtures. Port Adelaide 36, Barossa 12. So, we still have a game here.
We do. It's only 10 points in it.
Savastano will send that one as deep as he can, and he doesn't get that one. That one will come back. Oh, Romano Manu just didn't deal with it at all. Not entirely sure, because he can't blame the sun.
No, that's right on his back there. Great kick from the inside, though, and some really good pressure on that chase.
Fraser Green, I think, who was huge amount of pressure. Just, do you know what? He's got a big smile on his face after it, though. Burnside will go again. Out into midfield to Rahale, to Benja. Benja will put it on the boot. Little slip from Coates. Oh, and off the feet of Save, but he manages to beat the first one. And the second one. Shakes out of that one. Manages to get away. Being chased down by Green with the offload to Tamai. Tamai dropped it cold. And Tanaki will pick it up. Isoa will make the tackle. Good counter ruck from Cami Kamitha. They will come back for the knock-on from Tamai. Oh, dropped it cold. How about this from Survey?
Just outside the 22.
Just a little shake, gets away from the second one. Excellent chase down. I'm just Matthew Benja with the chase down, and then Hade Tamai won't like to see that again.
No, he won't. He's pretty hard on himself on that one there, but I'm sure the brothers will actually tell him off too.
I'm certain that nobody will clip that and make a little clip of that and show him that through the week. He'll be allowed to forget that as soon as possible. We certainly won't show it 4 times. It's a favourite of Spacequake Sports, Hade Tamai.
Yeah.
He was very, very good in the rugby league.
Yeah, he was. He absolutely was. Class act. Oh, look at this.
Stolen by South. Oh, well done, though. Very well done. Out the back by Will Shields. We haven't seen him this year. Out to Walton. Oh, is that keeper? He'll do well to get away. I don't think he's going. Burnside were asking the question, and rightly so, I think. If it was him in the first half.
There's a facial looks right there.
He's looked so upset by it as well.
He did.
So he's going to have a chat with him. So he's gone high tackle and the deliberate knockdown. If he gets away with this one, he's high on Tristan's Christmas card list.
Here we go. Look, 2 warnings there.
Yeah, he's on thin ice. I mean, but like, we actually have more lax knock-on rules in rugby league does, so he should know that one.
Absolutely. Mate, would have been a cracker, though, if we actually pulled it off, though, eh? Managed to get that ball and go.
It's a tough one, yeah. And I think that's probably what Tristan Clemens is saying. Like, he's had a go at it.
Yeah.
We do have some dark clouds away to our left.
Oh, it's coming in now, nice and thick, no sun. Disappeared. I'm getting goosebumps.
And that one's headed towards us, but we are in no danger. Sounds like it dropped onto our director's car.
Mate, we might have to put an APP up there for some people in the South Club. Say, hey, come and bring me and Dave a cup of coffee, would you please?
Yeah. Souths have won it again, but illegally. I'm just having a look at the radar. There's absolutely nothing on the radar, so those big black clouds are just threatening us for no reason. So scoreless still in this second half. A lot of positives for Souths. Burnside, businesslike. Walton carries it over the 10. Again, slow. Out to Hodgson, to Tanaki. Tanaki will step out of Isoa's tackle. Now it's a maul, you would think. Could Souths get this one? It's come back out their way anyway. Penalty. Well, obviously didn't call it a maul.
No, he didn't. But see, look, Burnside are playing really smart at the moment, you know what I mean? They've adjusted their lineouts, if you've noticed. They're actually starting to get better control, cleaner ball in that one there. Just frustrating Souths.
But that being said, Souths have seemed to have fixed the scrum.
True, correct.
We'll just flip it.
Absolutely.
It must be the way you're running.
Oh.
That's the only thing that can be left.
Absolutely.
If you're running to the southern end, you can scrum.
That's right.
Running to the northern end, your lineup's working.
Absolutely.
Is Souths on a lay line or something?
Sorry?
It's on a lay line, one of those magical lines.
Well, it is. You make sure you tell me who the ferry is.
Well, there you go. Not straight.
Knock on, I think.
No, I think it was. That's not
Oh,
straight.
Not straight?
Not straight when
Oh,
you
yeah.
throw it 5 metres. Chris Walton won't be happy with that one. But South's obviously gaining confidence in the scrum because they've asked for one.
Yeah, they have. They have a little bit slow. Obviously, they're still playing at the wrong end of the field. You know, but again, full credit to Burnside, playing smart again.
That being said, and we talked about it in the first half, and I will talk about it again. That being said, when you've got people like Save at the back, you can run from your own 22.
Yeah, well, see,
He's shown that already today that he can do it.
well, it's like what you said, bro. It's like the Souths of old, you know. And in previous seasons, what they do from this end, they just run.
Yeah, but they're picking and choosing their battles.
Oh, lucky there from pick up there for old Sandman to be able to pick up that ball after dominating scrum by Burnside.
To Ganivala, we'll send it on to Kami Kamitha.
Jeez,
Wigan at the back. Practice, mate. Now it will come out. Out the back to Save. Save will give it out to Kota. Kota down the line, beats the first one, runs at Rahale. Then the offload to Save. That's forward. It's being played on though. Tamai will set it back. Keeper inside to Stanojevic. Stanojevic will bounce off the first one. Wigan again, slows it down. We got some of your clan have joined us in the commentary box.
We have indeed. And very, very controlled. He was nice and quiet just then.
Just as we say that, Tanaganivalu will work into midfield. Good continuity. Marshall with a little bit of a counter up just to slow things down.
Yeah, good advantage there from coming from the side.
And they picked up Wiggett. Kami Kamitha not showing that he wants it. Stood there with his hands on his hips. Whistle will come back for the penalty. Savastano nicked another try by the referee.
That's 3 in a row.
He's got a hat trick.
Goodness, that's it. That's it. We're calling it. We should just give him a try just for fun.
Yeah. Make him buy a jug for scoring a hat trick and non-tries. Anyway, penalty on the 22, directly in front. Will they kick for points again? What do we have? What are we? 56 minutes gone. So there's still time. Was that 24 minutes plus added time?
Mate,
Do you peg them back a little bit?
Yeah, well, they've chosen to go for the kick.
Good. I like it. I am Northern Hemisphere though, so you know I'm all for the kicks at goal.
Yeah, I would have just said let's go tap and go, tap and go.
Tap and go.
Did you actually notice in the game of rugby these days here? So a tap and go is not nearly as structured as what it used to be back in the days. You know, it used to come up with some team plays at training and all this kind of stuff. Now it's just like, Okay, you tap, you just run.
You tap, you run. Yeah, as we just see, Coates just dances out of the first one. Rahali does well to come across and cover. Sarve, that was, they got away with the one.
They did. Oh,
that one was forward.
The touchdown she was actually calling it.
He
but
did call it in front of us.
The referee didn't see it.
But, you know, he wants to watch a good game of rugby as well, so ignore it.
Yeah.
Fun.
Good on
Forget
him.
it. Anyway, Tamai.
Nice.
Flags go up for that one. 7 points the difference on the Wojtek scoreboard. Souths 10, Burnside 17. Converted try, innit?
Yes, absolutely. Now, this is the types of games you want to see, don't you? Nice
Every
inside.
week. Every week. These are the ones we want to see. Well, it's Burnside. I did speak to Burnside. I spoke to the coaches afterwards last week when they left it late again.
Yeah.
To put the game to bed. I did tell them that they've got 80 minutes in which they can score tries. They don't have to do it after the final whistle every time.
That's true, that's true.
Just a little bit of chat over here as well. I think they're just asking about time. We've got all night. It's fine. We'll go till the sun goes down.
Absolutely.
We don't care. We'll stay here all night.
Hey, I can start singing if you want. I mean, we can start breaking it down.
We will stay here all night. As long as we can stay here, we'll stay here.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Make sure you give me a cup of tea or coffee, though, with some biscuits.
That one goes deep. Savastano will collect it. He wants another little bit of a run. Big step. Met strongly by a double blue wall, but it will come back to Wiggett. Wiggett will send it to keeper, to Tamai. Tamai will find Isoa. Isoa just tried to run the angle, but run down by Tanaki. Knock on. Burnside scrum in a very dangerous position.
One thing you actually seen here is, did you see, not seen, so compared to last week when South were playing Onkers, you had your 10-12 actually run into the line quite a lot more, where they've obviously changed the attack this time around, and it's kind of been a bit too obvious, and Burnside just staying off the midfield there, and then just drifting out and covering that tackle.
Well, one thing I would say, and maybe Vic watched last week's game, there was issues on the Burnside right, so your left.
Yep.
Last week. They'd let in a couple of tries down there, but Burnside appeared to have fixed that, so you would... Them trying to get wide quickly is possibly something that they've looked at through the week.
Look at that scrum, not moving.
Solid. Both of them solid, which is good. Hodgson, show, step. Now got a bit of space. Finally gets across. Kurtzer again having to be the last line of defence. Does well. Burnside will get the ball back. Ashenford to Marshall. Marshall takes on a couple. Gets over the 5 metre line. Again a little bit slow. Coleman dealt with as he tried to counter up. Tanaki will straighten. Runs into a couple of Souths players. We're getting through some work. That one goes to ground, but Benja can pick it up. Benja goes backwards.
Oh, that's got to be called a maul.
Good from Souths. There's someone slow to get up in the background. I think that's Tanaki. Oh, pile on.
Watch out, big Stevie.
Everyone jump in it.
Oh, my goodness.
That was fun.
That's why we play rugby, though, eh?
That's what we play for. Well, there's someone in an interesting position down there. Who's that, your number 4?
Yeah, young Brody. Almost twisted up there.
Loving it.
Brody comes from a good bloodline. He's nice and strong, that man.
So South's ball, it was called a maul and it didn't come out. We're getting pestered by your son.
Yeah, he does. I think he wants some chocolate.
If he stays quiet for the rest of the game, he can get some. You have to stop him climbing up with our camera operators, though.
That little monkey.
Well, he is your son.
He is.
So Tanaki was a little bit slow to get up. He's walking back into position now. He's in the arms of the physio, but nothing major. He's just going to walk back to his position. So, Burnside scrum, what is that? That's the 5 metre line you can see in the background. So what are they, like 15 out?
Yeah, 15 out.
Big blind side again. Sarve against Fraser Green. South's ball. Well, again, it's gone around. It's walked around, knock on. That's always going to be your problem if you're going backwards and you're reaching in to try and get it.
Absolutely. Sometimes you just wish you had go gadget arms in those situations.
Because the change this year, the number 8 can reach in as far as he wants now.
That's exactly right. You know, we'll give it to Vic. Maybe there was a strategic thing changing Sam Man for Tom because Tom's only short. Sam Man might have longer arms, maybe. I don't know.
So that's Taganivalu at the back, isn't it? Is that?
Yep.
Simoni. Taganivalu.
Man, I love his headgear though, eh? You can spot him a mile away.
Stands out. I mean, this is the thing. The Souths boys seem to know that they're on TV more than anybody else. Who was it last year? The Gary You had your Scottish guy, Gary,
Yes.
went and got haircuts every time. Hodgson will send it out the back. Ball goes to ground. That's Fraser Green over there. So obviously shirt numbers causing me issues again. Ashenford into midfield. A couple of Souths players have to get it. Whoa, Coleman was close. Sorry, Newton was close, but just shakes through the first one. Getting closer again. Ashenford out to Marshall. Marshall runs straight at Kamikamitha. Got him eventually. Ashenford out to the left-hand side.
Stolen.
Stanojevic has got it. Wiggett can get there. Wiggett can send it back to keeper. Keeper will put the boot through it. Doesn't get a huge amount of distance, but the line-out has been okay.
It has. Although, again, Burnside's line-out in the second half has been fantastic, and now they've got the ball. So let's see what they're going to do with it.
So we can see some of the South ladies in the background there. I was speaking to some of them this morning, Sarah Hunter and Katie Hamill, who no one knows who Katie Hamill is. That's Scotty.
No, Scotty.
They're all wearing denim. They've all got the Canadian tuxedos on.
Yeah, double denim they call it.
Right, so Burnside trying to get that driving maul going. South tried to stop it, now it's moving. Totoka at the back. Staying attached. Ashenford out to Hodgson. Hodgson to Tanaki. Tanaki will try and step through, try and keep his arms free, which he does to Hodgson. To Rahale. Rahale run down from behind. Kota, just the ankle tap got him, but he can get up and keep going. Trying to keep that ball free. Isoa does well and gets to him. Wiggett can dig it out. Wiggett will find keeper. Keeper wants an option inside. Romano is that option, but got Walton along with it. That's what he's for, though.
Yep, absolutely.
Release that pressure. Wiggett to keeper. Keeper came very, very shallow, just knocked on, and then kicked out of that. Just going to ask, I think, without that first one. So Rahale run down from behind by Save. Almost a try saver again because they were 2-on-1 out the back there again, and Kota manages to come across.
Absolutely.
Last defence has been a thing for South today.
Yeah. Although great covering the ankle tap there from Burnside there to stop that. Almost would have been a close.
Jeez, he would have gone. Because Kota can move.
Oh, mate, he's fast as.
And your last man was Rahale.
Yep.
He's your fullback, so don't know who would have been back there. So, South scrum.
South scrum. Can they maintain? Can they hold?
I'm going to reset that one. Look of disgust on Zia Vogel's face as he gets up. Want another one?
Yeah, he's like, come on, Riff. My body position was perfect.
We'll have a look at his body position in this one. Critique him. He is a man who will take that criticism.
Oh, absolutely, because he sure can give it.
It's not a bad position, actually, from Zia Vogel. And the ball comes out quickly to keeper. Out to Isoa. Out to Tamai. Tamai thought about putting it on the boot, but then gives it to Save. Save will step inside. Step out the first one. Isoa with the clean out. No, he was... I mean, do you know what? I'd have to see it again.
No, well, see, he didn't...
Well, they've gone to... I have to...
He didn't come through the gates.
I don't know whether it was a rock. That's the question I'm asking.
No, you don't have to actually... it doesn't have to be a ruck. So if you are the tackler...
But he's got it... Yes, he does have to come through the gate. You are right. Last year, he would have been fine.
Absolutely. And
this year, he's not.
I kind of missed that rule, though. You know, that was a good one. It kind of just made you have to, control the ball. But, hey, powers that be must know better.
Well, I think it's to... I don't know. They know better than we do.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Can't think why they would do it, but hey.
But then a little bit of ill discipline from Hodgson mulched them up another 10 metres, and that's allowed them to get a little bit more yardage on the kick.
Just over halfway, just before the opposition's 10.
Oh, he's got away with that because he threw it to the Burnside side.
Yeah, he did.
Tamai, back to keeper. Keeper will send it out to Save. Save 2-on-1. He gets through the first one, then we'll give it to Kerta. Kerta steps inside and offloads to half. Save trying to shake his way through. Tackled by Tanaki.
Great defense on Burnside.
That's a backs move.
Very good covering, good support play there. But again, Burnside, just like you said, they were weak in previous games. But this game, mate, they've shown some really great scrambling on that right side.
I've been impressed with Save and Kurtzer. Kurtzer, I think, has really put a shift in. Good covering tackle by Tanaki. Souths will want to nick this one. Then they don't. Brought down. Ashenford at the back. We'll send it into midfield. Oh, nice little offload as well. Zeervogel does enough, then drags him down. Oh, he's happy with it. Oh, got away with one horse collar tackle. Oh, and he sent it to the big fella in Newton. Newton picks the pocket. South, 5 metres out. Ball pops out the side on Burnside side. Rahali nearly got run down again. Anywhere will do for Burnside. Out on the full. Was he inside?
He was inside the 22.
Let's have a look whether we can see. Zeervogel gets away with a horse collar. Newton with the intercept.
Yeah, look at that. Mate, the blistering speed on that one there.
That's rugby IQ.
Yep.
We'll see whether we can, like, we've gone back in. We've got a flag out again.
I know. You know, I hope that it's a serious one, you know. Well, you know.
Well, you hope
mean.
it's not a serious one.
Well, yeah. It's you know, it's legit.
We'll see whether we can find a replay as to whether he was inside or outside. We've come back a long way. I'm not sure what we've come back for. I'm not sure whether they're talking about the tackle from Zeervogel. That's where the ball is. I don't remember anything being out there.
Actually, I wonder if the touch
offside?
No, he's actually calling the tackle on Burnside with the
yeah, the horse collar.
Yeah.
The referee was looking at it. So that's not where the ball is.
No, but I think they left the ball there though.
Yeah, they are trying to. Is he saying that one's late from Stanojevic? Because it was borderline.
Now, it actually is a fling around the collar. Is that illegal?
Well, yeah, it's a high tackle.
Okay.
If you're grabbing someone by the back of the collar, it's a little bit high.
Yeah, true.
So they are still deep in conversation. I had a look at it. My lip reading is terrible. So yeah, I mean it.
He grabs the collar, it pulls it around, and then brings it to the back of him, then jams him down. You know.
Yeah, the horse collar tackle. That one I think is okay. That's the only thing. We'll see whether we can get a signal. He's gone to talk to Blair Marshall. Friend of the show, Rory Sarangan at the back there. Got to give him a shout out.
Absolutely.
Second grade coach of the state women's side.
Oh, well done. Congratulations.
And I might give a shout out to that terrible moustache being worn by the South player back there as well. Right. Well, I think we might finally, but no, he's now going to have a chat with Cami Kamitha.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be a penalty to Burnside. The way
well, he wants to speak to a player. Who's he want to speak to? This will give us some kind of idea as to who it is that, because if it's Arno that goes over, then it'll be
for the
thing. If he asks for Steven Stanojevic, it would be the late tackle. Where is Arno? He's hiding somewhere.
Yeah,
no, he's there.
Is he still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
Oh, see, because he's just such a short guy anyway.
He just gets lost.
Yeah.
Blends in with the grass.
He's almost like a South African Oompa Loompa.
Oh, jeez.
Did I say that on here?
Yeah, you did. It's okay. We'll fix it in the edit. Cami Kamitha's not sure what's happening. We're not sure what's happening. So penalty. High tackle. So it is going back for that Arnie Zeervogel one. I said it didn't look good.
Yeah.
It's nice on him, right?
No, yes. I mean, look, in slow motion, you know, you can kind of pull it apart. But look, in the heat of the moment, you got to call it for.
The horse collar tackle is not a thing.
Yeah.
We know that. Someone asked why it was called a horse collar tackle. If you remember the old days when they used to put a collar on the horse.
Yeah.
And then the American footballers started wearing them to stop their heads going backwards.
Yep.
And the American footballers weren't allowed to pull by the horse collar, so it's the same kind of action.
Yeah, it is.
That's where it comes from.
Without pads.
Without pads.
Because we're hard rugby players.
Graham Newton not agreeing with the referee's decision, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, no. Well, I think he's a Pom, isn't he?
He is, yeah. We never agree with referees. That's why I became one.
Yeah, probably good for sanity. I mean, it's a hard job being a referee, that's for sure.
Okay, so Burnside line out, have to go over the top, which they do. Try and get that driving maul going. Devlin's got it at the back, then gone to Walton. Walton controlling it at the back. Bully Ruarua has come on. He's got to be careful not to swim up the side. He's done well, but look at that go. What's that, 10, 15 metres already?
Mate, yeah, absolutely.
It's so hard when it gets going that far not to give away a penalty, and the arm has gone up. Yeah, that was always going to happen. Once that rolling maul gets going, it's very difficult to stop it without giving away a penalty.
It absolutely is.
And we saw him clear as day. Was it Save or Isoa that came in the side? Someone came in the side. One of the brothers, I think, came in the side.
Yeah, Save.
Once it gets going forward like that, it's almost impossible to stop it.
Mate, absolutely. I mean, obviously, you see the Super Rugby teams and all that kind of stuff now. I think how they've got a strategy where they actually lay off any potential mauls nowadays, isn't it? It's almost like the only thing you do.
But you've got to be careful laying off the maul.
Mate, yeah,
as we saw in round one. Put to bed by the wonderful Jamie McGregor. So, another line out. So see the Ladies' Day tent. The Ladies' Day tent just given to you by Westbourne Park Primary School. Shout out to them for their help.
Yeah, fantastic. The lovely Rachel Mullins there, who's actually also a teacher there. Fantastic.
Oh, Bully Ruarua trying everything he could to get it under control. Couldn't quite get it. Savastano gets a little bit of a run. He gets bundled into touch. Plays with passion, Savastano. Every time he plays, another penalty. Penalties are starting to rack up on both sides of the ball.
They are indeed. I think I've got to run out of ink counting all these penalties.
Savastano will throw his left foot through this one again.
Wind's picked up a little bit too, so I wonder if we can keep it low. Can go through.
It's almost like he's kicking a goal in AFL. He's got his little routine going.
He is.
And then he misses it. Just like the AFL.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we are off and running. Looks like we've got a replacement for Burnside, and he'll just straighten and go. Runs through the first one, then the other ones. Gets to the 22. Zeervogel manages to pull him down, then doesn't move. Gets away with it. Rahali out to Hodgson. Quick hands to Tanaki. Tanaki, had the overlap. Decided he didn't want it. Then he will pop it up. That's the try line there. Souths have to put their backs against the wall, not allow it to go. Sorry, there was a 5 metre line. Another ball goes to ground. Keeper does well. Whistle. Side entry. Oh. I think that's the final warning to Cami Kamitha. One more, someone goes.
Yeah, it's got to be a bit of a team penalty there, absolutely, and especially within this end of the field too. Burnside clearly have the momentum going.
Red zone penalties, and you see Blair Marshall counting on his fingers the number of penalties that have been down there.
I was actually surprised that he could count that many times, eh?
Oh, he's a Kiwi then.
Damn it, you got me.
If anybody knows about penalties at the breakdown, it's the Kiwis. It's the New Zealanders.
Oh, now we're going down that track again, are we? Okay. Well, I'm sorry, Richie McCaw. I know you're watching this.
Yeah. Shout out Richie McCaw for watching you. Yeah, I heard he became a helicopter pilot.
Mate, he did. Well, he's been flying well before, even when he was actually still playing. So.
Because he doesn't get penalised for entering from the side.
Oh my
bump,
goodness.
bump. Yeah, it's there.
That
Yeah, I have. Blair Marshall at the back. Driving maul, looking to try and get it going again. They are managing to get it going forward. Walton with it at the back. Stanojevic should be okay because he came straight through the middle. Walton's still there. That is the try line. Looks like he's held up. Is that the try line or the 5? I think that's the 5.
See, another thing, that was a maul.
Oh, another pass just didn't go to hand. Burnside are shooting themselves in the foot somewhat with these skill errors. Now they will go out. Devlin straightens into Stanojevic. Stanojevic stands him up. Ashenford out to the left again to Rahale. Rahale bounces it out to that left-hand side to Eliepa, I will go with. Romano Manu comes out with it, but illegally. And there is going to be a whistle, and will it be Romano Manu who has to go? If that's where we've reached. Yeah, there's a hand going to our pocket.
This team.
It is, it's a team. Who's he going with, though? Be a bit unfair if he goes to Cami Kamitha. He has gone to Cami Kamitha.
Oh, he has indeed.
But for which one? Because he's a million miles away from that penalty there.
No, I think it was actually in the previous play where when Burnside fumbled it on, he actually came in off his feet to secure the ball.
Oh, no. Who's he showed the yellow card to?
No, to...
is that Isoa?
Isoa, yeah, Isoa.
Isoa, okay.
Oh, you thought it was to
I thought he'd given it
Billy.
to...
No.
I was going to say, that's a bit tough.
Yeah, no, he is right.
He was in back play.
Yeah, Billy, come over here.
He was still recovering from the last ruck. So, that is a team on. When I do the yellow cards on Monday, I'll let that one go.
Yeah, that'd be nice, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, here we go. Here we go. Got just under what? Just under 3 minutes, or just under under 3 minutes to go.
So they'll go to the back to Marshall. They will bring it down again. Stanojevic does enough to make them go quickly. Then they will go out to Tanaki. Tanaki puts it on the boot. Where's that going to bounce? Kurtzer just got in the way of it. Oh, he waited a little bit too long.
He did.
Now he's going to go. Has he got room to go? Oh.
There we go. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and he's done well, and now Kurtzer can go. Kurtzer will step inside. Silly, very, very silly from Ali Langsford. Lots of questions. Everybody stops. Save.
Good clean out there from young Brody.
Wigan at the back to Keeper. Keeper will send it out. The bounce manages to sit up to Savastano. Savastano will take on one. Keeper with a clean out. Well done, young man. He's learning the game.
Mate, he is.
Wiggett has to go digging. He's not moved. He's got to make an effort to get out of there, and he hasn't. Wiggett finally gets it away to Klopf, I think. No, no, this is Moustache Boy, isn't it?
Yeah, Damien.
I'm just going to call him Mo from now on. Wiggett out to the left to Keeper. Keeper with a little show. Manages to get away. Stanojevic is there. Just steals it from Louis Fagan eventually. Then it's going to come back South's way.
Burnside still really good on defense here. Nice shape, nice structure.
Zia Vogel will bring it back. Beats Walton. Little bit isolated, but does enough. Wiggett again, out to Keeper. Keeper's got Bully Ruarua inside. Manages to beat the first one. Romano Mano will pick up. Make another couple of yards. Wiggett again. Out to Taganivalu. He'll take on a couple. So, and it's been turned over. Well, and then it goes out to the left-hand side to Tanaki, who just lost his footing. The sniper got him. Another knock-on. Bully Ruarua will pick it up. Souths get there again. All a bit scrappy at the moment. Kami Kamitha, show. No one bought it. Then he went. Walton with hands on. Knock on Burnside. You go all the way back to getting a bit breathless now.
Mate, look at this. Right, lovely build of phase here, but fantastic defense again from Burnside. Burnside literally only given up around about 20 metres in that play.
Who did we say had come on? Who's the guy in the moustache? Is that Damien Plagakis?
That's the one.
Plagakis.
Mate, Plagakis.
Yeah, and
but I like the name Mo though. Mo's a good name.
Mo's a good name.
Mo's a good name. I'm sure he won't mind. He's a lovely guy.
Bully Ruarua getting his wish and playing in the back row.
Yes, absolutely, bro. In the previous season, last 3 or 4 seasons, he's been the centre.
Yep.
That Farley gets right on the mix of it. Loves it too.
So, South Scrum, we are in red time. Oh, jeez, I've just noticed it's red time.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That has flown by. So we are in red time. Converted, try the difference.
Mate, can something
South
break?
Scrum.
South Scrum.
It is set up appropriately at South for a grandstand finish. The only club in South Australia with a grandstand. It's messy at the back, but Wiggett manages to fix it.
Getting manhandled there a little bit by Burnside
Oh, he's
defense.
got to work hard. That ball has to come back South's way, or it will be a Burnside scrum. They have to do something with it. Burnside happy to just stand there and let it come.
Burnside
have got hands on it. It is going to be a Burnside scrum. Wiggett's asking about high. It was around your waist, buddy. Kami Kamitha asking about it as well. TJ Moala Ivo comes on and makes his usual appearance in the A-grade jumper. So, if you're going to get a scrum right,
mate,
this is the one to do it.
This is the one, absolutely. I would imagine that we wouldn't be into too much overtime at this point in play.
We had a very, very long stoppage while we discussed the penalty.
True.
So there might be about another 4 or 5 minutes to go.
Still long enough for one of these teams to seal the game.
Oh, it's again Burnside making us wait till the end before we can make sure that the game is done. It's at the back. Marshall will pick it up.
Oh.
Penalty. No, he's come off early.
Yeah, no, illegal binding.
No full arm bind. That's what that one is. All the back row have to have a full arm on. Now we will see South step and go, you will think. They do have time to get the line up. That is a new thing that came in 2 years ago.
Yes, that's right.
So it used to be that you kicked it out and the game would be over. Now you can take your line out. Tamai decides he's going to put his big boy pants on and he's going to have a go this time. Well, Savastano missed a couple.
Yes.
Wind is into his face. Just out, they'll be happy with.
Nice and low, little gain of 10 metres there.
Right, still in red time. We don't know how long is left.
No, we don't. I would say, Dave.
Which I really
one or two
enjoy.
breakdowns. Yeah, absolutely.
I enjoy the fact that we don't know how long is left.
Now, really critical for South to get this
They
right.
have to get this right. They got away with it.
They did.
Keeper, a little bit high. That one's bouncing around. Zier Vogel will pick it up and clean it up. They will start with it again. Wiggett's gone out to first receiver. Then he will send it to keeper. Keeper just stands up a little bit, goes backwards. Now they've got to work hard. Tanaki with the tackle, but they will get it again. Wiggett manages to get back to halfback. Good patience from Wiggett. Didn't just give it, made sure that Kami Kamitha had support. Kami Kamitha a little bit upright, but it comes back eventually. Then they will send it to keeper. Keeper will step. Oh, and lose it forward. Burnside ball. Devlin just kicks it into the stand. You would think that would be it.
And
that is it. Burnside, 3 from 3. But,
mate,
what a performance from South.
Absolutely great.
10 points the difference. Incredible game. Jacob Devlin with the last action of that one. What a game. Ran away from us in the end.
Mate, it absolutely did that last 5 to 10 minutes there. Whew, where did it go?
What I want to do is I just want to try and get to that Brighton score while we talk about it. South, again, don't be upset by that loss.
No, not at all. I mean, obviously in previous seasons, you know, we were down. Well, the score might be different there. So it's a really good reflection of what the comp's going to be like this year.
Well, the other good thing for South is they will stay above Old Coles or Brighton.
Yes, because of the points difference.
Yeah, because of the points difference.
Yeah.
So we'll just have a look and see what happened with Brighton Old Coles. He says hopefully. And then we will leave you with it, and we'll talk to you more on the Tuesday. As it's my it's not playing. From a chilly Bailey Reserve in Clarence Gardens, the Voitex scoreboard showing South 10, Burnside 17. Very good outing from South. Very pleased to see them. Old Coles 27-10 up.
Oh, wow.
With the last few minutes there. But from Clarence Gardens, from me, Dave Webb, and my sidekick, Tyrone. There we go. From my sidekick, Tyrone Tepaiho, we have had a wonderful afternoon. Rugby has been absolutely outstanding. We will speak to you again on Tuesday and Friday, and next week we will see Woodville for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. Good night.
Peace out.